has been primarily hosting concerts for the last 3 years since we started in 2020 during pandemic, basically to help artists that are not otherwise making money. The second tier artists, third tier, I don't want to call them in tears, but they were in tears actually, not making enough money. So we wanted to help them. And in that process, we started this, and with the help of youngsters like Keshav and Amit, who's not with us anymore, with us here in ASPO, but it's okay. He has contributed enormously, and he has set up a lot of things for us, and we are basking in the glory of all those things here. And even though we are called Adi Shankara Fine Arts, the reason for that name was Adi Shankara is the progenitor for our Indian spiritual thought. Without him, we don't have any fine arts. This encompasses all fine arts of all classical art forms of India. Even though we have not done any dance recital so far, which we will do in the future, I thought we should do spiritual talks by people that are scholarly in nature as well as in their ability to present topics of high value. One of those persons known to me is Sri Ravi Ranganathan.
How are you? Namaskar.
I have known him for only few years, but I got to know that he is my senior from MIT Madras. That makes the affinity and bond much more closer to us, and he's my spiritual guru in one way. He's teaching Bhagavad Gita for the last 3.5 years. The way he approaches the topic and the way he is carefully giving meaning to every single word and connecting them and giving the references from different acharyas that have given the Vyagyanam for those things is simply fabulous. I don't think I've seen a person who can really speak so eloquently. So I casually asked him, I want you to give the essence of Bhagavad Gita in a 2-hour talk for Adi Shankara Fine Arts. He was baffled. He said, what do you mean? I've been doing this for 3.5 years with you guys. I've not even crossed 5th chapter, and you want me to cover the whole thing in 2 hours? I said, you can do it. So I put my trust in him, and I know he will deliver. And he is insisting that he's going to stand and deliver. We will listen, sitting happily, enjoying this.
Early stands.
Hoping spiritually elevated and enlightened by end of this talk.
Yes, sir.
And continue our learning from him, from the Bhagavad Gita. Raviji, platform is all yours.
Hari Om. Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sri Om Sri Saraswati Namaha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatat Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parambaram Samasta Jana Kalyane Pradam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Punattu Sakaviryam Karavavari Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vidvishavakaihi Om Shanti 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 Kayena Vacha Manasendriyava Buddhyatmanava Prakrite Swabhava Karomi Yattat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayati Samarpayami. Dear friends, at the outset, let me first thank Ashok ji and Sandhya ji for giving me an opportunity to ponder what little I understand about Bhagavad Gita. Like he said, Ashok ji said, he has been conducting this Carnatic music under this banner. So now he has started a new initiative, Quest, a Pondering series. And today's talk is the inauguration talk in that series. Okay. He has chosen a beautiful and very appropriate title, I would say, Quest, a Pondering series. Today's talk is about Bhagavad Gita, and Adi Shankara is behind me as if he is smiling. Okay, in chapter 2, Sanjaya says, okay, Bhagavan starts his teaching as if he is smiling. So here Adi Shankara is here as if he is smiling. Do you know why it is like that? It is because in India, there's a government ready to eradicate Sanatana Dharma. Adi Shankara behind me must be thinking, 12,000 plus years after my time, 10,000 miles away from my birthplace, they are talking about Bhagavad Gita, and how can anyone eradicate this dharma from any place? So that is why he is smiling there. So if we are talking about Bhagavad Gita today, all the credit goes to him because of his commentary, okay, and subsequent commentaries based on his commentary is what we know what Bhagavad Gita is. Okay. So first, as an introduction, a quick short poll. Say one thing about yourself. Just one thing about yourself, each of you.
Co-ponderer.
Listener.
Listener.
Student.
Student.
Seeker.
Seeker. Okay, I will come to this. Just remember this, I will come to this later. So now, how many of you are familiar with Bhagavad Gita? Okay, I see some hands rising. How many of you are familiar with what is in Bhagavad Gita? So.
More or less.
Okay, good, very good. So, who gave Bhagavad Gita?
Krishna to Arjuna.
Wrong.
Wrong. Yeah.
Okay, there are three pairs of people who gave Bhagavad Gita. First, Vyasa, Ganesha. Second, Bhagavan, Arjuna. Third, Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra. Okay, which version is most important in these three versions?
No, it depends on what you think is the more prominent ones. See, Sanjaya's prologue is just the relation of what is happening, okay? Whereas when Krishna speaks to Arjuna, that is the philosophy or the karma yoga, right? I mean, that's my understanding.
If Vyasa didn't do this with Ganesha,
No.
there wouldn't be an
No.
existence at all.
That is there.
So I think
Okay.
that was a prime thing that was a prelude to all the other, let's do it.
That is fine, but
Okay, so
okay, fine. No arguments.
think about this. In the conclusion, I will give my answer, my
His
opinion.
answer,
Okay,
yes.
you keep thinking about this.
Okay.
Okay, one more question. Other than Arjuna, how and when did this Bhagavad Gita come to know? People come to know about this. Other than Arjuna.
Other than Arjuna.
The Periyalvar has stated it, மேன்மை பெறும் மக்கள் கேட்டிருப்பார் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்கா கோதை இதுல
That is 1,000 years later.
Right, no. It was,
So in between, nobody knew about Bhagavad Gita.
it has been reiterated, I meant.
Okay. Okay. There are 4 speakers in Bhagavad Gita: Dhritarashtra,
Yes.
Sanjaya, Arjuna, Bhagavan.
Krishna. Yeah.
Bhagavan.
We are going to refer to Bhagavad.
Okay, go on.
So why am I insisting on Bhagavan? Because any 700 verses are in Bhagavad Gita, and nowhere it says Shri Krishna Uvacha.
Correct.
Uvacha means said.
Correct.
It starts with Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dhritarashtra said. It says Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya said. It says Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna said. Then it doesn't say Shri Krishna Uvacha. It says Bhagavan Uvacha. So what is the difference? Why is that? What is the reason? When you say Sri Krishna, what comes to your mind?
Blue God.
Bhagavan with a peacock.
Bhagavan with a peacock, yellow dress, Gopikas running around him, and Rukmini, yes, okay, and all those things. When you say Bhagavan, what is the image comes to your mind?
He is ultimate.
That's not image.
No image. No, there is no image there.
No image.
Yes.
That's the right answer.
No image.
Okay.
At all.
So when you say Bhagavan, you should not get any image, because Bhagavan is talking as
I
consciousness.
think I should have brought a chocolate packet for you to distribute. Got the right answer.
Hare Krishna.
Consciousness has no image. So you should not get any image. And only if you look at Bhagavad Gita teaching from that angle, it will become very easy to understand. If you think it is Sri Krishna with Gopikas running around or cracking the pot in the butter, okay, you will have conflict. Okay, so even though Sri Krishna is the charioteer and driving there and telling, he is talking as consciousness. Why? Because after the war, they do the Ashwamedha Yaga. Okay? After the Ashwamedha Yagam, Arjuna goes to Krishna and then says, you taught me so many things there in the battlefield. I forgot most of them. Can you please teach me one more time? Bhagavan says, no, I cannot teach that. Okay, I can give you some samples here and there, but I cannot teach what I taught in the battlefield, because he says, I was in a yogic state there. So Sri Krishna in yogic state is Bhagavan. Okay, so when somebody asks who is teaching Bhagavad Gita, you should say Bhagavan, not Sri Krishna. It's not that, okay, it's a subtle difference, but still there is a difference. So if you have this difference, understand this difference, then it's very easy to understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay, but what does Bhagavan mean? Bhagavan means one who has Bhaga. Okay, he has the ownership of 6 richness. What are the 6 richness? Lordship, wealth, glory, knowledge, dispassion, and splendor. That is, Bhagavad Gita is teaching the second set of 3, knowledge, dispassion, and splendor. You live a life of knowledge with a dispassion and see the splendor of the splendid as God, then you will get lordship, wealth, and glory. That means you will become Bhagavan. You will get all of them. So if you understand Bhagavad Gita in depth, okay, and put into practice what all it says, and realize what it says you should realize, then you become Bhagavan. This is what Sanatana Dharma says, God is in you. Okay? You cannot just say that God is in me and then do whatever you want. That is not God is in you. Okay, now let me come to the title. Bhagavad Gita's relevance to life. So I asked Ashok ji whether it is a question or a statement. Because if it is a statement, I have to prove it. If it is a question, I can say what I want and then say this is my opinion. So he said, you take whatever way you want. So I'm going to take it as a question. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked many questions. Bhagavan never gives a direct answer. Okay, for example, in chapter 3 beginning, Arjuna asked, which is better, knowledge or action? Bhagavan says, you perform action with the knowledge. Okay. In chapter 5, he asked, which is better, okay, yoga of action or yoga of knowledge? He says only children will say they are different. That's the answer. Okay. So he never gives a direct answer, but he gives complete detailed explanation of what he meant by whatever he said. Okay. So hopefully this lecture also is going to be like that. Okay. So now the title itself gives rise to multiple questions. Relevance to whose life? Okay. If relevant, when is it relevant? How is it relevant? How long it is relevant? Okay. First, let me address relevance to whom. Now, you must have heard that Bhagavad Gita has been translated into 700 languages and all those things, and it is applicable for everybody in the world and all. That is hype. That's not true. Bhagavad Gita is not relevant for everyone in the world. Okay? So I'm going to give data from Bhagavad Gita. I'm not just saying all these things myself. Okay? First, let us see for whom Bhagavad Gita has no relevance. Bhagavad Gita has no relevance for our true inner nature, Atma, and our body. Body is Prakriti, it's inert. It has no purpose for that. Atma is beyond this, so it has no purpose for Bhagavad Gita. So, Atma and body doesn't need Bhagavad Gita. So, Bhagavan starts his teaching saying that we all have 2 identities. One is true inner identity which nobody knows, and then there's a false identification which everyone carries on. Natveham jatunasam, natvam me janati paham, na chaiva na bhavishyamah, sarve vayamata param. Arjuna, I, you, and all people around here, we have been here all the time. That is before. We have never not been here. Double negative he uses for stress. We have never not been here, and we will never cease to be here thereafter. That means we are eternal. Everyone is eternal. Then immediately he says, Dehosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavaram jaram tada dehantra praktihi dhiras tatrana muhyati. Just as the indweller of the body passes in this body from childhood to youth to adult to old age, the body will end, but you will continue. How? He gives an example. Okay. Vasams jirnani yata vikaya navani girnati naro parani. Just like you throw away your old clothes and wear new clothes, in the same way, your true nature throws this body, worn out body, and then takes up another body. So in this, we see two nature. One is our nature is eternal, he says. And the second is the body perishes. Okay? It is like this. As soon as a child is born, we brainwash that child, calling, you are a child, you are a child, you are a child. The child grows for some years. After 5-6 years, he says, Mom, I am no longer a child. I am not a child, he says. Correct? Okay, he thinks it's a grown-up. Okay, youth. Okay. Then comes age 18. He says, I am not a youth. I am an adult. Okay, I am not going to listen to you. I do whatever I want. Then age catches up and then says, I am old. I cannot do what I did in the long time. And then we die. So, our nature is like a SIM card and our body is the phone. Okay, so when the SIM card is out, the phone is dead. Okay, when you put the SIM card, the phone comes alive. So when the consciousness enters the prakriti called the body, we come alive. When the consciousness leaves, then it's a dead body. Okay, so body is not eternal, it is perishable, insentient. Therefore, there's no relevance of Bhagavad Gita to the body. Same thing with Atma. So that is the first category. Second category of people, okay? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavigastini shuni chaiva shobha kecha pandita samadarshanaha. A pandita sees the same in a brahmana who is endowed with humility and knowledge, in a cow, in a dog, okay, and even lower members of the society. Now, animals do not have the sixth sense of acquiring knowledge, contemplating on the knowledge and all those things. So this cow, elephant, dog examples given, they are all out. Okay. Now I can see Ashokji wondering, why did I even call this guy to come and talk? I know that animals don't have this. Does he have to come and tell me this? Just wait. The point is, this answers the question to life. As per Sanatana Dharma, there is consciousness even in a stone. Okay. But Bhagavad Gita is not relevant for a stone or animals or any lower form. Okay? There is some relevance to human beings. So is this Bhagavad Gita relevant to the Pandita I quoted? No. For him also it is not relevant. Why? Yavan arthaudapani sarvada sampludodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. To a Brahmana who has known the self, all the Vedas are of as much use as, suppose you have a small reservoir, a tank in your house, water tank, and there is a big reservoir there in your village. Which is more useful? The bigger reservoir is more useful. Okay, you can wash the car, cows, you can have water sports, entertainment, everything. But in your back well, you cannot do all those things. Same way, a person who has realized the self, Vedas are of no use. It is like the small tank because he has gone past that, what Vedas is telling. So for Pandita also, there is no relevance because he has already achieved what the Vedas and Bhagavad Gita is asking a human being to achieve. Okay, so he is also gone. So in chapter 7, Bhagavan says he has four type of devotees. Chadurvida bhajante mam jana sugridano arjuna artho jignasur jnani cha bharada rishabha. He says, those who are in distress, those who seek wealth and pleasures, those who are curious, and then jnanis. There, Bhagavan says, the jnanis, I consider them as myself. So that means Bhagavad Gita is not needed for the jnanis also because he has already become a Bhagavan. Okay? So any self-realized person like Pandita and Jnanis, Bhagavad Gita has no relevance because they have gone past that. So in chapter 4 he says, he gives examples of Janaka and other Raja Rishis. So Panditas, some Brahmanas, Janaka, King Raja Rishis, okay, Jnanis, they are all living already the life of Bhagavad Gita and they don't need Bhagavad Gita anymore. Now we come to the third category. Go to the other extreme. Okay? Dehatmas, those who identify 100% with their body. They are complete out and out materialistics. In those days, they were called Charvakas. Okay? They think body itself is Atma. It comes one day, goes another day. After that, there's nothing is there. So, in between, you steal, earn, do whatever you want. Okay? Enjoy the life with the money. Okay? And then go. Even if you don't repay, doesn't matter. Okay? You enjoy the life and go. That is Charvaka's philosophy. Okay? So, they are not going to get what is there in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan himself says, Na buddhi bedam janayet anyanam karma sanginam. Okay? The knowledgeable wise person should not unsettle the minds of ignorant people. Okay? Don't waste your time with them. Nothing is going to go them. Their philosophy is different. You are going to waste your time. So, you can exclude them also. That category is also gone, useless. Okay? Then, fourth one. Ajñāscha ashraddha dānāscha samshayātma vinashyati. The ignorant, the one without faith, and one who has doubt is ruined, he says. That is, ignorant here means, you ask this person, he'll say, I have not heard about Bhagavad Gita at all. Okay, somebody has mentioned this, but I don't know about it. I am very busy now. I don't have time for this. I will think about it in my retirement. So that group, out. Second, without faith. I have heard about Bhagavad Gita, but I don't believe what is in it. It is all cock and bull story. Okay? Two guys sitting in the middle of a battlefield with millions of people with weapons in their hand, they are talking philosophy. How can it be possible? Okay? These are all Brahmin hegemonism. Okay? Please note that the 6 people I mentioned, none of them is a Brahmin. Okay? But they will say it's all because of the Brahmins' plan, do these things. So without faith, they are also out. Third category is full of doubt. I have heard about Bhagavad Gita, I have attended some lectures, satsang, all those things, okay, but there are a lot of contradictions. Bhagavan does not know what he is talking about. Okay, he is talking both sides. Okay, he is talking about varnas, and that is because of that all the problems of the society. Okay, it makes no sense to me. Let Bhagavan make up his mind first, then you come and tell me. So these 3 categories are also out. Okay, they don't need Bhagavad Gita. So no relevance for Atma, no relevance for the body, no relevance for the advanced self-realized people, no relevance for ignorant people and without faith and all those things. Now you can wonder, looks like I am also in this bucket. So basically, can you say that no relevance for Bhagavad Gita for anyone? Okay, lecture is over, let's go. No, not that fast. Okay, it is relevant for some, otherwise it won't be here so long, right? So between these 2 extremes, in between there is a clown called the Jivatma. Okay, this Jivatma thinks, I am performing actions, I am suffering, I am enjoying, I am owning this property, I am very smart and intelligent. Okay, I am in distress. Okay, I don't know why Bhagavan is putting all problems only on my head and on my neighbor. Okay, and this Jivatma, while doing all these things, wants a permanent solution also. Not all Jivatma. From the 2 end spectrum, there are so many varieties are there. There is one bucket which says, I want a permanent solution for all these problems. So now I mentioned the 4 devotees. The 4th devotee is out. The first 3 devotees, one in distress, other, who wants wealth and everything, and the 3rd one is curious. These 3 are these Jivatmas. Okay, Bhagavad Gita is applicable for them. Now Arjuna is in the first category. He is in distress. Okay, he is the representative of Jivatma, who is in distress. Now, on seeing the opposing army, till the previous night he was gung-ho to fight. Okay, previous night Bhagavan takes him to the Devi temple and they pray. And then they come, and the next day early morning also he's all very good, okay, ready to fight. Now the first day they have vyugas. The first day Arjuna is not positioned in the front, okay, Bhima is positioned in the front. Arjuna is somewhere little bit deeper inside, and okay. So now he asks his charioteer, please take the chariot and park. He says, please take my chariot and park in the middle of the battlefield. He says, my chariot, okay, park in the middle. He goes there, Bhagavan parks the chariot. He looks at everybody, okay. The bow starts slipping from his hand, okay. He's sweating, literally, he's sweating, okay. The bow is started slipping from his hand, okay. He's coming into a confused state. He doesn't know what is happening, okay. He says, Karpanya dosho bhagata swabhavaham prachamitvam dharma sammoda chetaha. My natural qualities are overpowered by compassion. Not compassion, defects of compassion, okay. My mind is totally confused to my dharma. Now, can compassion have defects? Yes. Okay, I'll tell you after addressing some fundamentals, we will come to that, okay. So now Arjuna thinks, I know I am a Kshatriya, I know my duties, okay, I have astras, okay, powerful astras I have. I don't have a curse like a Karna to forget the mantras to shoot, okay. My perception of the world seems to be different now than what I had before. I have the skills and knowledge to perform, yet my body is paralyzed, my mind is paralyzed. I do not know what is happening, okay. Now remember, Arjuna has multiple PhDs in the skills of archery. Okay? Nobody can beat him, okay. There are many stories there, how accurate he can shoot the eye of a parrot, even looking at the water. And Bhagavan addresses, okay, Arjuna as Svat Sachin. That means one who can shoot arrows with both hands. Arjuna looks like he can hold the bow with his foot. Take one arrow, shoot. Take another arrow, shoot, like this. He's so good in archery. Okay, so technically he is good in everything. Technology is in his tips. Yet he refused to fight. Okay, so like Arjuna, we also are very skillful and knowledgeable, right? We are masters, PhDs, okay? Knowledge about Python, Java, okay? I am working on artificial intelligence, okay? ChatGPT is in my fingertips, okay? I am an investment banker, okay? I know how to make money. I am an expert in cooking, okay? I can give TED Talks for hours. So we are experts in certain fields, no doubt about it. But just like Arjuna, for various reasons, we do not have the will or love to do the work in which we are skillful. That is the problem. Okay? We are certainly skillful in certain areas, but somehow some break is coming. Okay? We don't want to give our full 100%. Okay? When you go to your office and get a job, okay, you are signing with HR. Okay? I am working for this salary. First 1 week, 2 weeks, you are all very happy there and doing it. Then soon what happens? For the salary is giving, why should I work? Okay, this work is enough. The guy there thinks, for the salary, the work he is doing, why am I giving this much salary? Okay, that guy thinks like that. Okay, so companies try to take advantage of this. Recently I saw an ad, commercial, with water resistance and dust resistance, you can have a worry-free life. This is an ad for phone. Now, can you have worry-free life? Okay, will the phone pay my mortgage bills? Okay, will kids' tuition fees, will it pay? No way. As soon as you buy the phone, first thing you are looking for is a cover for that to protect. Worry starts there itself. Okay, and this guy says you will not have any worry at all, and we fall for that. Okay, so Arjuna's disease, all of us have. We are also confused. We are delusions are there. We suffering there. In HuffPost, okay, there is a section called HuffPost Personal. If you go and look at the articles, many articles, people, okay, give a big article and then say they regret what happened in their life. Okay, there is only regret, but it is nicely written and a big article comes. There is no peace in the mind of the people. That is the problem. Okay, because of not having clarity, we allow ourselves to be easily divided into society. Bhagavad Gita says, okay, you don't have a clarity of what is life. Because of that, all problems in life. Okay? So now you can ask, there are many self-help books are there, motivational books are available. Okay, how is Bhagavad Gita different from these books? Prevention is certainly better than cure, but prevention also has its limits, says Bhagavad Gita. Karmanyavadhyaraste ma phalesu kadachana. You have right, power, authority for action, but you do not have that same thing in the result of that action. Okay? So, in spite of trying to prevent, things happen. Correct? So, prevention is okay, but is there anything better than prevention? Bhagavad Gita gives that answer. It gives you that medicine. So, that is where Bhagavad Gita's relevance comes there. Bhagavad Gita says, why are you wasting your energy and suffer for an imaginary problem? The sufferings and sorrows, everything in your life, including happiness, they are all imaginary. It is not real. Okay? So anything that can tackle the source of the sorrows instead of managing the sorrows is better. Bhagavad Gita gives you the ammunition to attack the source of the sorrows. Okay? So, but there is a condition. What is the condition? Yachre asyan nishchidam bruhi tanmem shishyateham shadimam prabantam. Arjuna says, I am asking you to tell me decisively what is supreme good for me. Okay? I am your disciple. Instruct me now. So he's not asking permission to become a disciple. He says, I am your disciple. Okay? Now instruct me the supreme good for me. So that is the requirement. Okay? So Bhagavad Gita will become useful for those who have a sense of seeking the highest good. Okay? And are ready to become a sincere seeker. Okay? This is what, if you have heard Sadhguru's talks, okay, many places he says, we are seekers, we are seekers. This is what it is. Okay? You are seeking your own inner self. That is the seeking. Okay. So now, to make Bhagavad Gita relevant for us, we must know what is in it. Otherwise, how can you make it relevant? Okay? So, Indian thoughts are divided into 9 darshans. Okay? 6 are called Astika darshans, 3 are called Nastika darshans. The Astika darshans are Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. These are all called Astika darshans because they accept either fully or partially Vedas. Okay, at least some portion of Vedas they accept. Now the 3 other darshans, Nastika darshans, are Charvakas, which I already mentioned, Buddhism and Jainism. They reject Vedas completely. Okay, but whether they reject or not, most of these darshans start with the statement of the problem and give a solution to that problem. What they think is the solution to the problem. The same way, Bhagavad Gita also starts with the statement of the problem. The entire first chapter is statement of the problem, and also the first few verses of chapter 2, continuation, statement of the problem. So, like I said, Arjuna is middle of the battlefield. Okay, he feels he's paralyzed. Okay, and he doesn't know what is going on. Okay, his body is shaking, so he starts talking. Of the chapter, first chapter, almost Arjuna gives reasons why he don't want to fight. I have divided his entire reasoning into 8 categories. First, he says bad omens. Okay, he says, I am seeing bad omens. Second, I don't have any personal desire for victory or the kingdom or pleasure. He says, I don't want. He suddenly become a sannyasi. Okay. Then, I don't want to kill my own kinsman. He keeps repeating kinsman. He is not saying everybody. See, there is also a partiality there. And then he says, war leads to sin. People die and I am responsible for killing. So, the sin comes to me. War throws the killers and the family of those dead soldiers to hell. So, people who are sitting in the society who has nothing to do with this also get thrown into the hell, he says. Okay. Then, he says people should have positive values. The way he says is, Duryodhana is very greedy. I am not greedy. Okay, I have good values. I am not like Duryodhana. Why should I go and fight with him? He says. Then he has a concern for the disintegration of the society. He says suddenly, okay, the entire society will disintegrate, okay, and there will be a mixing up of varnas and everything. Women will go and marry outside their varna and all those things. And then he says he has a concern for the departed souls, ancestors. He says Pitrus, they will go to hell because the annual Shraddha will not be done for them. He says. So, if you analyze all these things, his concern can be grouped into two: death and sin. Concern for death, concern I have a sin. If I don't have a sin, then I will do whatever it is, right? Because, okay, there is a fear of sin, I don't want to do it. So, if there is a way he can fight without having a sin, okay, no problem, he will do it. Okay? So, this is the statement of the problem. Then, the beginning of this chapter 2, Bhagavan scolds him for this. I will come to the scolding later. In the scolding, there is a teaching. Okay? So he scolds left, right, and center. Okay? Arjuna, get up, impurities you have and all those things. Arjuna says, no. How can I kill Bhishma and Drona? They are my gurus. So then he says, I am confused. I don't know. I surrender. Okay, I am your disciple. Now teach me what. So now when you come to the Bhagavan's teachings, he gives 3 reasons why Arjuna should get up and fight. It is in chapter 2. 3 reasons. First reason is a spiritual angle. He gives a spiritual angle. Basically, it is knowing who we really are, okay, and who we are not. That is the spiritual angle. Second is Swadharma angle. That is, it is knowing your duties. It is showing a sense of gratitude, okay, keeping the promises you are given. Now, I have made the second topic very simple, but it's very complicated. Okay, this Swadharma angle is very complicated, but I will do my best. Third is honor and dishonor angle. That is, Bhagavan says, keep your honor. If you run away, people will say you are a coward, okay, and you will get dishonor. Okay, don't do that. Stay here and fight. So, one end is the spiritual reasoning, other end is the transactional world reasoning. In between, there is a complicated Swadharma angle. Now, first let's look at the spiritual angle. I think I have to speed up or skip. Ashoschanan, Vashoschatvam. You are grieving for something you should not grieve for. This is how Bhagavan starts. Okay? First thing is, you are grieving for something you should not grieve. We are all gifted with the confusion, delusion, sorrows, everything. We have that lot in our bucket. Okay? Always sorrows we have. Grieving for something or other. Okay? We are in union with the sorrow. Okay? We are in union with the sorrow. All the time for something or other you complain. Okay? Anything and everything complain. You always find a fault with something. Always sorrow. Okay? Now, death is not a reason to grieve. That's what Arjuna is saying, right? Bhagavan makes a categorical statement. Gata suna gata suncha nanu shochanti pandidaha. Pandita does not grieve for the living or the dead. That's it. End of the story. Okay? Whether it is living or dead, don't grieve. Yet, see, this is a beauty. Yet, Pranyavadamsa Vashase, Arjuna, you speak words of wisdom. Okay, Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you speak words of wisdom. This is how the formal teaching starts. Bhagavan is giving encouragement to Arjuna and at the same time telling him you are wrong. Okay? you are speaking words of wisdom, but you are wrong. Okay? So, if someone is, the lesson here is, if someone is who is using your help and makes a mistake, give them left, right, and center. Okay, but it should be like what Bhagavan is doing it. Okay? If they apologize and ask for help, then give advice. Okay? Otherwise, shut your mouth. Okay? So now let us see who we are really. This is second one. If we do not know who we really are, how can we know what we want? Okay? If I do not know who I am really, then how can I say that I want this or that? So, the ignorance of our true inner nature is the cause of all sufferings. Okay? If we know who we really are, then there is no suffering, no sorrows in this world. Thank you. Okay? Right now, without knowing who we really are, we are going after this and that. Okay, I want this car, I want this dress, I want this jewelry, okay, I want this house, and all those things, whether we want or not. Then you buy a house, oh, I cannot pay the mortgage. Okay, so let me leave this house and go for another. Okay, so without knowing who we really are, we are just asking for this and that. There was a thirsty man. He was very thirsty, hot day. So there is a pot, mud pot. Okay, so he goes and takes water and drinks it. When he touches the pot, pot is cool. The water is also cool. So he asks, okay, how are you so cool? Okay. The mud pot says, I know my beginning, I know my end. Okay, so I am cool always.
Very well.
Okay, so if you know who you really are, you will be cool all the time. Okay, so the question is, are we human beings seeking spiritual experience, or are we spiritual beings with human experience? It's a question. Okay, now some religions teach that we are human beings seeking spiritual experience. Bhagavad Gita and Sanatana Dharma says no. We are spiritual beings who, due to ignorance, think that we are human beings and seek spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings, but because of the ignorance, okay, we think that we are this body and mind, we are a human, and we are going after spiritual experiences. This is what the stand of Bhagavad Gita and Sanatana Dharma. So what is our current identification? Our current identification is body, mind. Mind means emotional mind and intellectual mind, both parts. Okay, body. Okay, we have three basic needs. Okay, that basic needs has to be fulfilled. Beyond that, we go for physical comfort. Okay, beyond that, more desires, we want to go for that, and we seek entertainment, because once you have certain comfort, then you seek entertainment. When you don't have comfort, then you stand on the street and beg. Okay, but when you have all these things, okay, then you seek entertainment. Then there is an emotional attachment is there. Okay, then there is an intellectual activity is also there. I am the great scientist. I have 53 patents last year itself. Okay, I am emotional. Whenever when I see this movie, I came out crying. Okay, you are going to the movie to enjoy, not to cry, but we cry and come. Okay, so to maintain the body, okay, we do things which leads to sorrows. Okay, to fulfill our desires, we do things which leads to sorrows. Okay, the environment gives physical discomfort, leads to sorrows. Emotional attachment. Okay, I invested 3 years dating this guy, and this scumbag has left me. Okay, my life has come to an end. Okay, I can very well go and commit suicide. Emotional attachment, sorrows. Intellectual curiosity. Okay, that also leads to sorrow. On top of all these things, our religions put what is called sin. Okay, on top of all these things they introduce and then say, okay, if you do this, it is a sin. If you don't do this, if it is a sin, you are born a sinner, etc., etc. Okay, so from every direction, what is coming is not helping us to be happy. Okay, it is sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. Okay, so question is how to fight Arjuna. How can he fight the war and kill Bhishma and Drona and yet have no sin, and yet he is not, it does not suffer. Okay, so our true identity is Najayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavitavana bhuyah ajo nitya shashvato ham puranah na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Our true nature, it is neither born nor does it die any time. Okay, having come in existence does not become non-existence. It exists. Now, do I need to tell you that you exist? If I ask you, do you exist? What are you going to say? If I say you don't exist, okay, you will think I am an idiot. Okay, so I don't need to remind that we exist. Okay, and then we are conscious of things. You are sitting here and listening, so you are conscious of things. So your existence, your consciousness, and our Sanatana Dharma says that the third quality you have is Ananda. So in essence, we are Sat Chit Ananda. That is our real nature. Okay, this is explained in chapter 2 as you are Nityaha, you are eternal. Okay, Now, when you say eternal, the image comes into future. Eternal. So, but we are eternal in the past also. So that is why primordial, you are primordial. Okay, from the very beginning. Okay, and Sanatanaha. Sanatanaha means timeless. That is, you are beyond time. Your origin, your inner nature is beyond time. Okay, time itself is in it. That is Sanatanaha. Now, how are we eternal? It is Anasinaha, indestructible. Okay, air cannot dry it. Water cannot wet it. Fire cannot burn it. Okay, and weapons cannot cut it. But it is our true nature, Atma, consciousness, it cannot do it. Okay, it is Ajaha, unborn, Avyaktaha, unmanifest form. Okay, Sarvadaha, all pervading. Okay,
Yes.
it is Avikaryaha, unchangeable, Achalaha, immovable. Like that, okay, descriptions are given about our true nature. But you can say, I don't understand. How can it be? For that, the answer is Aprameyasya. It is incomprehensible. Achintayaha. Okay? It is not possible to think about it. That means it is not possible to think about it and have an image in our mind about it. Image in the mind. Because it is beyond the mind. Okay? Because of its present, mind is functioning. It's not the other way. Hence, you cannot think about it. So, in short, we are Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Sat never becomes Asat, that means existence never becomes non-existence. Okay, and the body, mind is perishable. Okay, that is Prakriti, that is perishable. So this is what, who we are and who we are not. Okay, so he says, Bhagavan says, do not grieve for perishable things. Body will perish, Bhishma's body will perish. Don't grieve for that. Do not grieve for things which has already happened. Okay, so many things have happened in the past. Don't worry about that. Do not grieve for things over which you don't have control. Okay, you have come here after all the diplomacy and all those things. Okay, now you do not have a control. Don't grieve for anything which is over the inevitable. With the clear knowledge about the Atma, you stand up and face the challenge in front of you. Okay, so basically, this is the main teaching in chapter 2 called Sankhya knowledge. Now, this is all well and good, but how does we realize ourselves? So a 4-step process is given. Chapter 3, Karma Yoga. The first step is perform all actions, treating the results of the actions with an equanimity of mind. Okay, don't jump that once it is on your thing, what you want. Don't jump up and then say, I have got A plus in my class. Okay, I have got 15% promotion. Things like that. Don't jump up and down. If it is not in your favor, don't get depressed. Okay? Don't go down that path. Stay in the middle. Whether you are successful or not successful, stay in the middle. Okay? This is Karma Yoga. Then the next step is Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 4. This is with the right knowledge, you perform all actions, dropping the I and mine. That is, start losing the doership and experiencership. In Karma Yoga, you still have the doership. I am doing the action, but I am surrendering the result to the Bhagavan. I am still doing the action. Okay, I am surrendering the result to the Bhagavan. In Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Karma Sannyasam, you drop the doership also. That you get by practicing the first one, Karma Yoga. When you keep practicing Karma Yoga, your mind becomes more and more sattva, and you realize that you are not performing the actions. Okay, Bhagavad Gita says the person in that state will say, he is not seeing, I am not seeing, I am not hearing, okay, I am not eating, I am not walking, okay, I am not going, coming, etc. Because all those activities are activities of the Prakriti, which is the body. Okay, this I is a Prakriti. Okay, it is not consciousness. Okay, so all these things are done by the Prakriti in Prakriti. You are just a life element sitting there, akarta abhokta. That means you are non-doer, non-experiencer. Abhokta is the right way to translate abhokta is you are not an enjoyer. Okay, but I am translating into non-experiencer because you are experiencing both happiness and sorrows. Okay, it's not just only you are enjoying, you are suffering also. That is also an experience. So non-experiencer. Okay. So your true nature is akarta abhokta, and whatever you are think you are doing it. Physically you are doing it, emotionally you are doing it, intellectually you are doing it. I am writing the code. Without my code, the company will not survive. That is attachment to the intellect. Okay. You like some person so much and willing to do anything and everything for that person. Attachment, emotional attachment. Okay. I love this 70-inch TV. Okay, and you hug it and I don't want anybody to see anything else. I want to see physical attachment, body attachment, all those things. Okay, so this is the first 6 chapters is covered here. Okay, chapter 3 Karma Yoga, chapter 4 Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, knowledge about Karma Yoga. Chapter 5 is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. That means you implement the non-doership, non-experiencership. And chapter 6 is Dhyana Yoga, meditation. That is, if you follow this path, your mind becomes pure. There is no agitations in your mind. There is no impurities in your mind. Okay, and then you will be able to sit for meditation and meditate. That means in the last stage of meditation, you drop whatever remaining thoughts also there. When you do that, your mind is clean, pure, and Atma shines brilliantly on that. Okay, and when you come out of the meditation, your intellect has an inclination about what happened. That's all. Okay, because your Atma is the subject. It is not an object. You cannot realize that in any other way. There's an inclination there. Okay. Now this is the first 6 chapters. Okay. Good. Now the middle 6 chapters, 6 to 12, talks about the concept of God. What is God? Where is God? What is bhakti? How do you implement bhakti? Okay. In Sanatana Dharma, God is called Brahman. Aksharam Param Brahmam. Chapter 8. God is imperishable, absolute, supreme. That's the definition of God. Okay. Where can I see the God? The entire universe is nothing but manifestation of God. Okay. The unmanifest Nirguna Brahman is manifesting as the entire universe. In short, God is one in all and all in one. One in all means that one God is now pervading the entire universe. Okay, as everything. All in one means the entire universe is in that one God. Okay, this is the essence of chapters 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now what is bhakti and how do you express bhakti? Bhagavan says, have a holistic approach that entire universe is God. Okay, wherever you see the splendor of the splendid, see I am there. Okay, he says. Okay, so in my house, the backyard and side yard, sometimes I watch through the window, a hummingbird comes. Okay, and it just beats the wings 4,000 beats per minute or so, and then it sucks the honey out of that. So such a small bird, it beats so much, stays steady, sucks the honey. That is the splendor in the splendid. That's God. So that my mind should say God is working there. If you go to Grand Canyon, you see the beauty of that. Okay, oh, God is here. This is God. Okay, so Bhagavan gives a long list like that. Okay, so now he gives 5 levels of bhakti to reach to worship. The highest, most difficult to the lowest. I will come 5 levels. The top level, very, very difficult. Those who worship meditating on Nirguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahman means no quality. Brahman without any quality. Okay, you cannot have a form. You cannot have an image. So that's very difficult. Only very, very advanced yogis can do it. And Bhagavan says, you must become that yogi. So that is should be the goal of our life. Relevance. Okay, you must become that yogi. Okay? The second level, if you are unable to do that, yeah, I'm sure I'm unable to do it. Okay, come to the next level. Okay, try to see God in everything as a Vishwarupam. Okay, this example I gave you now. Okay, everything, anything and everything you see, okay, is God. If this speaker is working without making any feedback noise, God was there. Okay, otherwise Asurik was there. So,
Attended.
so I cannot do that. Okay, as soon as I see somebody, my anger comes out. How can I see God in that person? Third level. Okay, take one form and meditate on that form. Whatever form, Ishta Devata. You take that form and meditate on that Deva. Okay, that is level 3. I cannot sit for meditation. Okay, as soon as I sit for meditation, all problems everywhere comes to me. Okay,
Manager will kill me.
imagine will kill me, all those things. Okay, Bhagavan, I cannot even do that also. Okay, you are performing actions, dedicate all the actions to me. That means, don't think you are performing the action. Okay, think that you are a tool. Nimitramatam. You are just an instrument. Okay, because this is a prakriti. You are not this. Okay, so allow the prakriti to interact with the prakriti. Don't worry about that. Don't think that you are the doer. Bhagavan, no, my ego does not allow me to do that. I am very strong ego. Okay, I am the doer. I am working very hard. The result should be mine. Okay, come to the lowest level, level 5. Okay, perform all the actions. At least give the results to me. Okay, if we cannot even do that, there's no hope for you. This I'm not saying it. Okay, chapter 12. Okay, chapter 12. Okay, these are the 5 levels. Okay, Bhagavan literally says, if we cannot do that, do this. If we cannot do this, do this. He says, okay, that is bhakti. Okay, that is devotion. Okay, where you are seeing God. How do you express that? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Offer me with the devotion a leaf, one leaf, one flower. Okay, okay, one fruit, little bit of water. Oh my God, I should have attended Bhagavad Gita long ago. If I had known, I would not have bought 108 coconuts to break them. Okay, I would have just given one dry leaf and then pass. No. Bhakti is not that easy. Tadaham bhaktya upharadam ashnami prayat atmanaha. It has to be with the pure atma, pure mind. Okay, without pure mind, okay, you cannot say that, okay, I am giving a leaf and all those things. That is the most difficult thing. What is pure mind? You should not have 3 impurities. Kashmana. Okay, I will come to that a little later, what it is. Okay, so now, how you can be a devotee so that you can be devotee to God? You should have purity in body, mind, speech. You have to treat dualities the same. You have to drop the sense of I and mine. You should be in meditation. Okay, this is again in chapter 12. But see here the beauty here. Here again he says karma yoga, karma sannyasa yoga, dhyana yoga. This repeats again and again and again in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, if you want the spiritual journey, start with karma yoga, move to karma sannyasa yoga, move to dhyana yoga. Okay, then you go to the level 4 and 5. Okay, so now we have seen the two major things: self and Brahman, God. Okay, now what is the connection between these two? That is the last 6 chapters. Okay, Brahman has 2 aspects: para prakriti and apara prakriti. Okay, many names are given in Bhagavad Gita for this. Para prakriti or Purusha or Kshetrajna, all these things are one and the same. Apara prakriti, material nature, Kshetra, all are one and the same. Okay, now how does this creation happen? There is this Purusha, there is this Prakriti. Purusha is consciousness. Prakriti is material nature. Okay? This material nature has 3 gunas in it, embedded in it. You cannot take that out of it. You can consider as Ichha Sakti, Kriya Sakti, Jnana Sakti. That is a different way of interpreting it. But here in Bhagavad Gita, it is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. 3 gunas are in the material nature. You cannot separate it. It can go higher and lower. Each can have different percentage, but you cannot take one out of it. Okay, or 2 or other thing. So this Purusha and Prakriti, when they come in proximity, the Rajas, starts acting. Okay, and the Sattva rises. And the first thing what comes out is Mahat. Mahat means cosmic intellect, cosmic intelligence. From next, Ahankara comes, ego. Next, mind comes. Then parallelly, space, air, vayu, fire, agni, water, apaha, earth comes. Okay, so and then there's a big description is there. This is Sankhya Darshan, which is covered in chapter 13. Okay, so one after another, all these things are coming. So now, our goal is to reverse, traverse. That's all. Very simple. Okay, so from Purusha, intelligence Mahat, from there Ahankara, from there Manas, from there the body comes. So now what we have to do? We have to know that body is Prakriti. Don't identify with the body. Then don't identify with the mind. Okay, dissipate the ego. What is left is intellect. Okay, reduce the thoughts. Sit in meditation. You will be Purusha. That is moksha. Okay, that is the basic simple. Okay, so you are traversing back in the creation to attain moksha. Now, who is fit for that? That takes to the next topic. You have to rise above dualities. That is, samadukka sukham dhiram somridutvaya kalpate. That person for whom pleasure and pain are same and to whom the dualities do not affect is fit for realizing, okay, liberation. That is the only, this one you can say, qualification. If you don't have that qualification, not fit for liberation. That means you have to go beyond dualities. Now what is duality? Matra spashastu kaunteya chitoshna sukha dukkadaha agama payino nityaha tams tidikshasva bharata. See, we have senses, 5 senses. It comes in contact with the sense objects. When it comes in contact with the sense objects, what do we experience? We experience heat or cold. I touch this, it's cold, I say. Okay? I open the tap water and then hot water comes hot. So, heat or cold. Same way, pleasure or pain we get. Okay? So, these things are called dualities. Heat or cold, pleasure or pain, honor or dishonor. So, the heat and cold is an example at the body level. Okay? Pleasure and pain, okay, you can say at the emotional level, okay, honor and dishonor at the intellectual level. So all the 3 levels, there is nothing but dualities in the world. You take anything, okay, the world is nothing but a play of dualities, multiplicity. It's called multiplicities, varieties, forms, and we give name for each form. So in Vedanta, this is said as world of objects. Names and forms, world of objects. Your thought is also included in this. Any thought I have is also a world of, it's an object of the world. Okay. So now look at Apple versus Samsung, Tesla versus BMW, East versus West, good versus bad. Okay. Love versus hate. Okay. Victory versus defeat. Okay. Heterosexual versus homosexual. Okay. Mine versus yours. Less salt in the food, more salt in the food. Everywhere you see it's nothing but duality. Now, duality leads to choices. Okay, should I vote for this party or that party? Should I choose white color or blue color for the car? Okay, should I choose finance or biology for studying? Should I go to this college or that college? Should I support LGBTQ or not? Does Black Lives Matter is right or all lives matter right? See, all problems comes because of these dualities. Okay, wedding lunch. Should I take one sweet or should I take one sweet of all? Okay, varieties is there. We are confused. This is what delusion. So choices lead to confusion, delusion, arguments. That's why world has problems. Okay, so we are fit for permanent happiness only if we can treat the dualities same. Okay, you have to train your mind to treat the duality same. How? Start with karma yoga. Okay, treat the results of the action same. Okay, then automatically this will come. So the point is, are you working with a happy state of mind or are you working for happiness? Bhagavad Gita says your true nature is happiness. Then why are you seeking happiness outside? Okay? So this is nothing but having a shift in perception. That's all. Okay? You have a shift in perception of what is this world, who you are. Okay, sorrows are gone, sufferings are gone. You will be happy all the time. So you are enjoy music, but be aware what kind of music you are listening to. Okay, you do not want to listen to music which increases your blood pressure. Okay, it has to bring peace in your mind. Okay, that is, the mind has to come to the sattva state. Sattva state is a purity state, which hopefully I have time, I have to rush now. So since I don't think I will be able to finish everything, okay, this is a commercial break. Okay, you can listen to my podcast. I have a podcast, Bhagavad Gita Yaha Pashyati Sa Pashyati. Okay, so I have explained these things in detail there. Okay, so it's a commercial.
Can I interject? You have 2 hours, I said. We started by 6:10, so till 7:10 you have, but that is not the hard stuff.
Okay.
You talk to your heart's content.
Okay. I have not even come off way. Okay.
No. One more question, sir. Is there a Q&A kind of sessions?
Okay, we'll create one.
Because
Okay.
people have a lot of questions, you might
Okay.
be able to answer.
We will see. So enjoy food, but be aware of what kind of food you are eating. It has to be sattvic. So enjoy through ears. Enjoy music. It has to be sattvic. You are looking at enjoy things. It has to be sattvic. Okay. All the 5 senses should be doing only sattvic activities. But there's a problem. We are not able to do it. Why? Because there is external duality, which I explained. There is an internal duality within us. That is likes and dislikes. Okay? Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvanda mohena bharata, by the delusion of the pairs of opposites arising from desire and anger, aversion. So when we are born itself, there is certain likes and dislikes is there. Okay? This is our vasanas, deep-rooted vasanas, which has been accumulated over many lives. Okay? That is how your like is different from my like and different from somebody else's like and all those things. So this internal likes and dislike is interacting with the external dualities. Okay? And the like gets attached to the things which you like, dislike gets attached to things which you don't want. And the likes become stronger, dislikes become stronger. Okay? If at least one stronger, other becomes weak, okay. Both become stronger and we fight. Okay? So there are external dualities and internal dualities, one strength the other. Okay? And so Bhagavan says, there is no escape from this. You endure them bravely. Didikshasva. Endure them bravely. Okay? Get the knowledge of this and endure them bravely. There is no way you can escape this. Okay? So then that is dualities. Now, I want to go above the dualities. If you want to be that God state, you have to be above the dualities. How can I do that? So that is, next topic is do your duties. Okay? Now, what is our highest duty? What should be our highest duty? Realize ourselves. That is the highest duty. Not the highest duty. That should be the only duty.
Did you leak the question paper to him?
Sounds like it. No.
He is listening. So Arjuna said, Karpanya dosha bhagata swabhavaha prachami tvam dharma sammuda setaha. So there he used the word swabhavaha and dharma. So Bhagavan replies, Swadharmam api chavekshana vikam pitum hargasi. Further looking at your own swadharma, you should not waver. That is, I have given you the first reason why you should get up and fight. Now further, when you look at the swadharma, okay, I am not translating swadharma into duty yet. Okay, I am using the same word. Okay, so further looking at your own swadharma, you should not waver. Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya by birth, by temperament. Okay, you should not fail to do your Kshatriya duties. If you do something else, you will be miserable. Your swabhava is this, otherwise you will be miserable. Okay, so you should do. So the word he is using is swadharma. It is translated as duty, righteousness and all, which is really not a perfect fit in this. Okay, because the fragrance of the original language is not coming in the translation. So let's look at this. This is a very complex topic. Like I said in the beginning, I have 2 episodes on this topic alone. Okay, so I will just quickly cover this and move on. Otherwise, I will not go, okay, even finish half of this. So, commercial. Swabhav Adhyatmam Uchate. It is said Adhyatmam is Swabhava. That is, Swabhava is the expression of our spiritual identity. Adhyatma is, okay, our Atma. Okay? It is same as consciousness. Okay? So here two meanings are there: spiritual meaning and the transactional meaning. The spiritual meaning is Swabhava and Swadharma both are one and the same. They are nothing but our Atma consciousness. Dharma, okay, is something that upholds a thing. Dharma is coming from the root dhr, to means to uphold. Okay, what upholds? That is dharma. So, in the kitchen there are two bottles of white powder. There is no label there. Okay, one is salt, one is sugar. So, if I want to know what is salt, what should I do? I should take a little bit, put it in the mouth, and then say. Okay, so if it is salty, then I say salt. If it is sweet, then I say it is sweet. So, the dharma of sweet is sweetness. The dharma of salt is saltiness. Okay? If the salt doesn't have saltiness, it's not salt. Okay? So that is what it is upholding. The sweetness and the saltiness upholding that. That is dharma. So now, swadharma is my dharma. What is upholding me? What is upholding each one of us? Our life element consciousness. If this life element is not there, it's a dead body. Okay, what is upholding us is our true inner nature, which is Atma. So, Swadharma and Swabhava at the spiritual level is one and the same. Okay, that is why Bhagavan used the word Swadharma in response to Swabhava. Okay, Shreyan Swadharma Vigunaha Paradharmat Sonishkrita Swadharme Nidanam Shreyaha Paradharmat Bhayavaha. It is far better performing one's own duty, though devoid of merit, okay, than the duty of someone else, even though that may look better. Okay. Now, this a capitalistic society cannot accept. Okay. This you need to have a different perception to understand what it means. Okay. Swadharma is our inner self. Paradharma is what in that context? Swadharma is our inner self. Paradharma is our false identification. That is paradharma. It is not your dharma. It is prakriti. Okay? We are identifying with our paradharma and going after things. Okay? He says, okay, that is very dangerous because you will never have self-realization. It's better you die. Bhagavan says, it's better you die than seeking your own self. That is the spiritual meaning of this verse. Okay? But this is in between, I said, the second meaning. It has both spiritual meaning and transactional meaning. It's a transition. Okay? So, Bhagavan says, Arjuna, it's such a shame that you are not putting effort to realize your own self. How? You perform this action in the battlefield as a karma yoga that will help you to realize yourself. Okay? Instead of that, you are seeking paradharma. What is paradharma here? He is saying, Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaikshamapih loke. Arjuna says, okay, it is better indeed in this world to eat by begging, he says, Arjuna. Okay, what that means is, he is a Kshatriya. He says, I don't want to follow my Kshatriya duties and I will go and follow the duty of a sannyasa Brahmin who lives by begging. It's better that, he says. So, he is looking at the paradharma. Bhagavan says, it's a shame on you to do that. Okay, because you will not realize your own self if you do this. So, this idea is very, very important that Bhagavan takes this entire lion and puts it in chapter 18. He repeats this entire thing in the chapter 18. Therefore, our duty is to be conscious at all times that our true nature is consciousness. Every thought should be knows that our true nature is consciousness. Now let us come to the transactional meaning. Okay, our actions are determined by the gunas of the prakriti. Okay, the thoughts are influenced by the gunas. Okay, so swabhavastu pravartate. It is the swabhava that engages with the world of objects. Okay, And the internal laws that guide us in this engagements is Swadharma. So there is some internal force in us says, go this way, go that way, don't take that. Okay. So for an example, I am a teetotaler. Okay. If you are seeing that others have problems by excess drinking and all those things, that could, you can use it as a reason. But still, there is a force in me which tells me that I don't need that. Okay? I don't know what that force is, but it tells me that I don't need that. That is Swadharma. It's my guiding principle. Okay? So Swadharma is the law of being. Swadharma is one's own internal guiding force. So this Swadharma has two components. One is internal component which is coming because of our past karmas. Okay? The another is external component which is coming from the society. Okay? That is where Varnashrama Dharma is coming. That is where Sanatana Dharma says you should have these Nitya Karmas, Naimittika Karmas and all those things. Nitya Karma means daily duties. Naimittika Karma means ordained duties. You have certain things you should do. Okay? Shradam you have to do. Okay? Punar changing every day, Sandhya Vandanam you have to do. All these things are all ordained for a reason, which I am going to come very soon. Okay, hopefully. Okay, so I am going to skip all these things. You understand this Swadharma and Swabhava, I hope so.
I'm going to put a screen there.
Okay, so what happens if you don't have this Dharma, faith in this Dharma? Okay, Ashraddha Dana Purushaga Dharmastya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartande Mrityu Samsara Vartandi. If you don't have doubt in this Dharma, you are not going to attain me. There is no liberation. Okay, you can get stuck in samsara, not a problem. Okay, if you want to do that, okay, you can be there. Okay, there's nothing. Okay. Therefore, our duty is to invest in the long-term goal of self-realization rather than short-term goals of gratification of the senses. Any action we are doing, it should propel us towards that self-realization. If you do that, that action is correct. Any action you do which takes you away from that, that's a wrong action. Okay, that is what action inaction means. Okay, in chapter 3, he is going to talk about it. So now, how do we do this? Then duty is to become a yogi. You have to become a yogi. Chapter 6 says, you become a yogi, Arjuna. Okay? Yogi is better than an ascetic. He is better than a person of knowledge. He is better than a person of action, everything. That is, become a self-realized person. Okay? For that, mind has to rest. How it should rest? It gives an example. The mind is like a lamp placed in a windless place that does not flicker. That's how your mind should be. Okay? Flicker means agitations. Okay? Even one thought goes like this, it's a flickering. Okay? So the mind should shine like a lamp. Okay? If there is a purity in the mind, your Atma shines like a lamp in that. Okay. So now your duty is to know where your authority is and where it is not. Okay? Karmanyeva adhyaraste ma phalesu kadachana ma karma phala heturuhu mate sankosta karmani. So you have power to act. You can do whatever you want. You can act. But you don't have the power over the result. You cannot dictate it. There are so many other factors come into the picture. Because of that, because Bhagavan is saying that let not the fruit of the action be motive, don't be lazy and and then say I won't do any action. Okay? Let there not be attachment to inaction. Okay? So this is, okay? So you have a choice, act responsibly, as well as accept the results with an equanimity of mind. When I say do not have attachment to the result of the action, do not misunderstand as no attachment means no action itself. You have to perform action. There has to be a goal what that result has to be, but do not have attachment to that before the result happens. Even after the result happens, treat them with the equanimity of mind. That means if the result has an error, I write a code, 500-line code, okay? I run it, errors, bug after bug. Okay, don't get your mind down. Okay, tomorrow you have to finish all this. Okay, fix all these bugs. Go after it one by one, fix it. Have skill in action and do it. But don't get agitated because of that. So it's a simple example there. Okay, so because you have the control over fixing the bug. Nobody stopping you. Okay, you can do that. Okay? So our founding fathers in America, let's look at that. Okay, they signed a document, Constitution, Bill of Rights, and all those things. They did what they thought was right at that time. Okay, whatever skillfully they can do, they did that. Now what is happening? Okay, every politician, okay, if it is convenient, they will quote the Constitution. If it is not convenient, we twist the Constitution, do something else. Okay, so nobody is performing their duty now. Okay, they have the authority and power to make a change if necessary, but nobody is willing to do it because they always look at the election. Okay, this is what this verse says. Okay, you have the authority right now to fix any problem. Okay, don't worry about the result. If the result has a problem, you have the authority to fix it. Why are you worried about it? Okay, don't worry about it. Just do it. Okay, so that is one thing of duty. Duty means also discipline and sacrifice. Okay, so I don't need to go too much into this because I want to talk about another important aspect of duty. Where there is support, there must be duty. Okay, where you climb right, there is responsibility, and that responsibility is your duty. The parents brings a child to the world. Okay, they have responsibility for the survival of the bird. That is a duty. Okay, the parents grow old, children. Okay, it's the same thing. Reverse also. They have a duty. Okay, a seeker seeks a guru. Okay, hence there is a duty towards the guru. Okay, so now you apply this. Duty means gratitude. Duty means humility. Having these values is what is duty means. Okay, now Bhagavan gives a very beautiful example for this. Explains this. Okay, in chapter 3. Devan bhavayanta dena deva bhavayantaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreya paramavapsata. With this sacrifice, the devas are propitiated and may those devas propitiate you. That is, you are doing some certain sacrifices. With that sacrifices, devas gets happy. Okay, and let them give something back to you. And the reverse also. Now, who is Deva? Deva is anyone who illuminates. Okay, and those who make you shine in your life, they are Devas. Who makes you shine in your life? From the young age, parents put effort, siblings, okay, teachers, friends, okay, society. Bank gives you a loan so that your business grows and you shine. Okay, these are all Devas. Okay, that is, you get help from them. What are you returning for them? Bhavan asks. Okay, you have to do something back to everyone from whom you got some help or other. Okay, that is duty, your duty. Now he says, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyatanna sambhavaha yajnat bhavati parjanyaha yajna karma samudbhavaha. Food comes from, okay, from food beings comes. Okay, from rain food is produced. Rain occurs from sacrifices and the sacrifice is born of action. Now Bhagavan says, learn from this nature and work for Loka Sankaraham. The word used is Loka Sankaraham, welfare of the world. Okay, he says, don't be selfish. How does we get rain? All the 5 elements work selflessly together to bring the rain. Look at this. The sun is generating the heat. The fire in the sun is generating the heat. That heat comes and then it evaporates the water in the ocean. So, heat, the fire is there, water is there. Now, how does this evaporated water goes up? Air lifts it. And then what does it do? It moves these clouds and then falls as snow on the mountain tops and rains. How does the water from the cloud comes down? The earth is pulling through its gravity. Okay, and then the water is coming down, it comes as rivers, and then you grow everything, okay, everybody depends on that, and then you live your life. So, all these things are happening where? In space. So, space, air, fire, water, earth, all the 5 elements are coming together selflessly, because what are they asking you? Nothing, right? They are not coming and demanding anything from you. They are coming together and providing the life for you, everything. Okay? Now, who are you? The body. What is body? It's nothing but the 5 elements. Our body is nothing but 5 elements. Okay? Okay? 60% of the body is water. 60 to 70% of the body is water. There is air. There is fire in the stomach. So, our mind is made up of the 5 elements. So, if those 5 elements can work together for the benefit of the entire world, you are also made of these 5 elements. Why are you behaving like this? You should be working for the entire benefit of the entire world. He says, okay, that is the meaning of that verse. Okay, he says, why not human being who is also made up of the same 5 elements behave selflessly and for the benefit of the entire world? Now, raw materials are sacrifice that nature makes, correct? We go and dig everything everywhere and take it. Okay, does the earth protest? No. Even if it protests, we hit and then take whatever we want. So the elements are sacrificing. Okay, do we consider rain as a sacrifice? No. Okay, if rain doesn't come, we feel the rain is not there. Okay, when the rain is there, we take it for granted. So rain is a representative of the raw materials needed to consume things. So anything you consume through your 5 senses, you should be grateful and show gratitude for that. Okay, so this is duty. This all comes under duty. Okay, so now final one, whose duty to follow? You have to follow your duty, not somebody else's duty. Okay, that's why he said, Shreyan Swadharmo Viganaha Paradharma Sonstita Swadharme Nidaram Shreya Paradharmo Bhayavaha. It is better you follow your duty, not somebody else's duty. You can have a role model. Okay, he says, okay, you can have a role model. Okay, Janaka and other kings, rishis, Raja rishis, they are all role models. Okay, I am a role model. Okay, I take avatar, but I am not coming down because of my karma. I don't have any karma. Okay, I am taking this avatar because I don't have doership. I created the 4 varnas, but consider me that I do not have any doership in that. He says that is jnana karma sannyasa yoga. Okay, so he says you can take all these people as role model, but don't become them. Your swadharma swabhava has to express. Don't express somebody else's swabhava. Why? Because you want to burn your swabhavas. Okay, you have to dig all your swabhavas from your vasanas and burn it. Only if you don't have any more vasanas left, you don't have any more birth. So there is no point in copying somebody's swabhava and then you intensifying your own vasanas. You are only adding more karmas by following somebody's swadharma. So you have to follow your swadharma, okay, and try to remove your karmas. Okay? So these are all the duties. Okay? So let me go to the next one. Another important point, 3 gunas. God has, I said, 2 nature or 2 parts, or you consider 2 types of work. God is doing 2 types of work. One is para prakriti, other is apara prakriti, I said. Para prakriti is consciousness, apara prakriti is a material nature, and I said this apara prakriti has 3 gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Okay. Now this topic on gunas is so important that the entire chapter 14, 17 and part of 18 talks only about gunas. Okay. In chapter 2, there is just one mention of sattva guna, that's it. Then he introduces rajoguna, and then he says finally in chapter 7 all the names, 3 names, sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva guna expresses itself as purity, knowledge, wisdom, happiness, things like that. Rajoguna expresses itself as activity, passion. Okay? So passion could be good or bad. Okay, so the good and bad is part of Prakriti. You cannot eliminate bad. Okay, you cannot say, oh, God knows everything, why there is bad happening in this world. We cannot say that because it is part of the Prakriti. It has nothing to do with consciousness. Okay, then so this Rajoguna expresses as an attachment, anger, this, okay, all these things, pride, revenge, all these things, both good and bad. Okay, this Rajoguna, basically activity, any activity. Tamoguna expresses itself as stability, okay, lethargy, inertia, it doesn't move. Okay, without Tamoguna, you will not get sleep. Without sleep, your body will suffer. So it is not that only Sattva is good. All the three are needed. It has to be in balance. When all the three are in balance, there is no creation. Okay, so in your deep sleep, all the three are in balance. Okay, you don't know anything going on, only the Atma is there, shining there. Okay, in deep sleep. Okay, ignorance is there in deep sleep also, that's different thing. But these three are in balance. As soon as you wake up, the first thought comes. Okay, one of these gunas come into the picture. Okay, depending on your mood, what happened the previous night, one of these things come into the picture. So this sattva binds us to good and peaceful activities. If your mind is always sattvic, it will bind you to the peaceful activities, good activities. You look at things good. The rajas binds you to the passionate worldly activities. All the time running around doing something or other, maybe good or bad does not matter. That's what it is. Tamas, if there is no rajas now, I cannot stand and be speaking. Okay, tamas, it binds us to the sleep. Okay, inactivity, ignorance. Tamas is ignorance. Okay, so now the combination of these three is what makes the four varnas. Okay, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudras. It is nothing but a combination of these three. The Brahmin is basically high percentage of sattva, then rajas, then low tamas. Okay, Kshatriya has high percentage of rajas, followed by sattva and then tamas. Like that, the combination is there, which is creating these four types of varnas. Now, which is more powerful? I said no. Sattva rises overpowering rajas and tamas. Rajas rises overpowering the other two. So like that, each one, depending on the conditions, okay, overpower the other and comes. Now, what is the effect of these three gunas? It is to delude us. Okay. Tribir gunamayir bhavaihi ebi sarvamidam jagat mogidam nabhijanati mam ebhyaha param avyayam. All the words, it's all deluded by the nature composed of the three gunas. It's because of these three gunas we are deluded. That means to get liberation, what should happen? We have to go beyond the three gunas. Yeah? It is same as going above the dualities. It's all talking in different terms and what that, but essentially it's one and the same. Okay, so therefore, Traigunya Vishya Vedaha Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvastaha Niryogakshema Atmavan. In chapter 2 he says, Arjuna, Vedas talk about something called three gunas. Okay, the things which you have heard in the society and you are arguing, they don't know anything about that. They know only to perform yajnas. Okay, but listen to me. Okay, listen from me. Vedas have something called three gunas. They talk about it. Free yourself from duality. Okay, stay in sattva and then rise above sattva. Okay, he says in chapter 2. So, abiding in sattva means all our understanding, thoughts, action, everything should be driven by pure sattva. What does that mean? Eat sattvic food. Think sattvic. Act sattvic. Dream sattvic. Okay? React sattvic. Okay? You want to criticize sattvic way. Okay? So everything should be sattvic. That is what is meaning you remain in sattva. Okay? So that means whenever you find yourself in tamas, you have to push yourself to rajas and then to sattva. If you are in rajas, push yourself to sattva. Now, can you Now, I will ask you, I asked in the very beginning something. Bhagavan gave 3 reasons why Arjuna should get up and fight, correct? I have given the first two reasons. The third reason is also, I think I have given, that for your honor and not to get dishonor, you should get up and fight. Now, can you see the 3 gunas there? You should be able to see the 3 gunas. The first reasoning is sattvic. The second reasoning is rajas. The third thing that you should have honor and dishonor is tamas. Why? Okay, we are going to see everywhere Bhagavan says you should have samatvam. You should not worry about honor and dishonor. But he says we should have honor and not dishonor. That means it's a tamasic reasoning. Bhagavan is coming down to Arjuna's level to make him get up and fight. Okay, if Arjuna got up from the first reason itself, all these things will not happen. Okay, so you see, even in the teaching, the gunas have permeated. So you cannot escape from the gunas unless you put the actual effort and rise above that. Okay, so now compassion. I asked a question there. Can compassion has defects? Yes,
It has.
compassion can have defects.
Of course.
Okay, it has to be a right place for the right people, the right way.
Right reason.
That is the compassion. Giving wrong, this one kind of things at a wrong place and all, it is either rajasic or tamasic. So this the gunas are permeating in everything. Chapter 14 and 17, he gives examples. Food. Three types are there: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Charity you are giving, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Faith you are having, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Okay, he gives like that examples. He takes about 6, 7 and gives. So in essence, the gunas you have to understand how it works, and whenever you are performing an action and the result comes, a thought comes, you have to see what guna is now predominant there. Okay. And which guna helps to attain moksha? No. You have to go above Sat. Sattva is a stop. It's a bus stop.
No, there is a bus stop.
It is a bus stop. Okay, you should reach that bus stop
First
and you go beyond
I will
that.
move for sattva.
Okay.
Then only I will think of that.
Yeah.
First, let me reach to that level first.
Okay.
Right? That's what the attainability is.
This
Do not
is
always think like a yogi.
yeah.
Then you are not a karma yogi at all.
Okay. So we're talking about yogi. The next topic is
Uh,
yoga and yogi.
Oh my God.
So now,
Okay.
you know, okay, yoga is very popular in the Western world, okay, and everywhere, okay, there's a yoga shop and yoga mat and everything, okay. Okay. So now, in Bhagavad Gita, at least 16 types of yogas are mentioned. Okay. I said at the end of chapter 6, Bhagavan said, you become a yogi. Okay. So now let us quickly see these yogas. The word yoga is coming from the root, yuj, means unite. Union is yoga. So now, the chapter names are all called with yoga. For example, chapter 1 is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So every chapter is called yoga. Why? Because chapter is nothing but a union of verses. Certain verses are put together and called as a chapter, yoga. Okay, that is one. Second, there are so many different types of yoga like Buddhi Yoga, Karma Yoga, Sankhya, and he is mentioning them. There, yoga refers to the state of mind. Okay, it's a state of mind or a path which you are doing it. Third, Samatvam Yoga Vichade, the first definition, okay, formal definition, Bhagavad Gita. Evenness of mind is said to be yoga. This is the first formal definition. Okay, when you have evenness of mind, okay, or the atoms you are putting, that is yoga. Fourth, yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is skill in action. Yoga is dexterity in action. Okay, so yoga is pursuing excellence. Now you combine these two definitions, what do you get? Getting skills and applying those skills with an evenness of mind to the result of action is yoga. That is a simple definition of yoga. Okay, so now let's move on. What is real skill? What is real skill? It is performing actions without getting bound by. Any action you do, you should not get bound by that. That means not have attachments, okay, or aversions.
Sorry. I don't know what the hell is happening.
So the real skill is how you perform actions without getting bound by that. Okay. Now fifth is Ashtanga Yoga. In chapter 4, he explains how you have to perform all activities as yajnas, as sacrifices. Okay. There he gives examples of people following all the steps of Ashtanga Yoga, all the 8 steps, different ways he is saying that. Then the next 2 definitions are the best or highest definition. Yoga is renunciation of thoughts. Yoga is renunciation of thoughts. The thoughts are coming from all directions. Okay, not able to control and restrain. Restraining that flow of thoughts is yoga. Yoga Chitta Vritti says Patanjali Yoga. Okay, so okay, 7th, next definition. Okay, yoga is severance from union of sorrow. Okay, yoga is severance from the union of sorrow. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga vyogam yoga sannitam. He says severance from the union with pain is called yoga. Okay. Next, another. So now if we combine these, this is a definition I am giving. Okay, yoga is the skill in our actions with an evenness of mind to the result of our actions and to the dualities of the world to become a yogi through meditation process. This is the first half. Second half is this yogi is one who is in union with the true inner self, which is nothing but the state of eternal bliss, that final eternally happy state where there is complete severance with sorrow is yoga. This is the complete definition of yoga. Okay, in essence, the path, the means and the end, everything is yoga. Okay, so let me tell you a quick story. 10 years back or something, when Facebook was new to me, and when I joined, somebody from Colorado friended me and joined. She was a yoga teacher and having conversation, and I said, this is what is yoga. She got angry. She defriended me. She said, I went to Mysore and learned from a teacher yoga. I know what is yoga. If I said this, okay. So 8th, Abhyasa Yoga. Practice is yoga, he says. Practice. Okay. Now, 9th, okay, Buddhi Yoga. That is Jnana Yoga, yoga of intellect. Okay, how do you get that? 10th, Ananya Yogena Bhakti. Bhakti Yoga you need to have. Okay. 11th, Sannyasa Yoga, renunciation of yoga. Okay. Now, sannyasam, the definition of sannyasam in Bhagavan is different from the traditional definition of sannyasam. Traditional definition of sannyasam is you leave the house, go live, begging whatever it is and all those things. In Bhagavad Gita, karma sannyasam means you do not drop action and run away. You perform the action without doership and ownership. That is sannyasam, renunciation in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. 12th, okay, these are all yogas which I explained from human point of view. From Bhagavan point of view, yoga is Aishwarya. Yoga Aishwarya. Okay, yoga is giving. Yoga Kshema. He gives. I'm giving yoga. He's giving. Okay, yoga Kshema. Yoga itself is divine. Yoga Maya. Yoga is divine. Vibhuti Yoga. All the glories of Bhagavan is yoga. So like this, so many definitions of yoga is there. Okay, we cannot dwell beyond this. Then let me come to the next important part, Samatva. Okay, this is another important topic, again and again repeated. Samatvam is seeing things the same. Okay, having an equanimity of mind at the level of all beings. Samatvam. Okay, it starts with seeing the result of the action same. That's where it starts. Again and again it comes to that point, Karma Yoga point. Now, the Samatvam, Bhagavan explains, okay, seeing in 3 different things. Okay, first is seeing equality in intangible things in the mind. That is, Jitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitaha sitoshna sukha dukkeshu tata mana apamana yogo. The yogis who have conquered their mind see the same in cold and heat, pleasure and pain, honor and dishonor, okay, and their mind is peaceful, he says. So these are all in the mind, honor and dishonor and all those things. Okay, we have to treat them same. That's I put them as intangible things. Second, seeing equality in tangible objects. Okay, jnana vijnana triptatma kutasto vijidendriyaha yukta ittuchyate yogi samaloshtasma kanchanaha. This yogi is seeing a lump of earth and a stone and gold the same. So the objects of the world, okay, the value of the objects of the world is same. Okay, whether diamond or gold or a lump of clay, for this yogi it is everything is same. Meaning everything is prakriti, that's all. There's no difference. The value you are superimposing on it. That's the thing. Okay? Third, seeing equality in sentient things. Okay? Sugurun mitra yudasina madhyastatvesha bandhushum sadhu sapi chapapesha samabuddhir vishishyate. So this yogi looks the same. Okay, here he is giving 9 types of people. Okay, good-hearted well-wishers, friends, enemies, indifferent people, neutral people, hateful people, relatives, righteous people, sinners. Everyone is seen the same. This yogi, the self-realized yogi. Okay, so these are the way. Okay, Bhagavad Gita explains how you have to see samatvam in all these things. Okay, so this is why when you look at the Varna division, people criticize, okay, Sanatana Dharma and Bhagavad Gita, they have Varna division and all those things. It has caused all the ills of the society. Nowhere in Bhagavad Gita, okay, it says there's a difference, but it doesn't say, okay, one is higher and the other is lower. Again and again and again, Bhagavad Gita keeps on repeating samatvam in everything. Okay, there is no equality at the level of names and forms. Okay, I call this frame, I call this mic, that's different. Okay, but what is behind all of us beings is one and the same. Okay, that is what the thought we should have everywhere, every time. That's what he says. Okay, that is where the samatvam comes. When you start seeing that, then you don't see the differences, outside differences. Okay, then the world becomes much better. Okay, it is because of the play of the gunas of the prakriti, you cannot remove the bad. When you know that you understand, then you go and help. Okay, it becomes easier, okay, to associate with that. Okay, somebody is suffering, you go and help. Okay, it becomes easier. Okay, so samatvam. So bottom line, have passion for dispassion and dispassion for all passions. That is samatvam. Okay, you should have dispassion for everything. That is the passion you should have. Okay, and you should not have passion for anything. That is the dispassion. Okay, so that is samatvam. Now another important topic: what is sin and how to avoid sin. Okay, sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayam tado yuddhaya yujjasva nevam papam avapsasi. If you treat happiness and sorrows, gain and loss, victory and defeat the same, and then engage in the battle, you will not incur sin. Bhagavan is telling Arjuna. That means if you treat these things same and face any challenge in life, okay, there's no sin in any action you are doing. Okay, we have an action, there is a reaction. For the you perform an action, there is a result. To the result, there is a reaction. That is the next action. That gives you a result. Okay, to that you have a reaction. So the life is nothing but this chain. Okay. Now, in that reaction, if you treat both same, okay, there is no sin. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you take your arrows, shoot and kill Bhishma. With this attitude, you will not have a sin. Okay, because if you drop the doership, then to whom will sin go and attach to? There is no doer. Okay, there has to be somebody to which the sin has to go. If there is no doer, then where will the sin go? So if you don't have a doership, if I am performing the action and really I do not have the doership, the real knowledge, okay, then you can do anything. He says, oh, anything you can do in this world, no sin will come to you. Don't worry about this, he says. Okay. So, if you look at some religions, they say, okay, there's a 10 commandments, and if you don't follow, there's a sin. Correct? You should worship an invisible God, but you should not take any aid. The first two commandments you see, okay, invisible God, but you should not take any aid to worship God. If you do that, there's a sin, it says. Okay? Actions like killing, stealing, lying, okay? There is a sin is superimposed on all these things to deal with the external world. That is not that important. Okay, in Sanatana Dharma, Bhagavad Gita says, values are important. Next time I'm going to talk about values. That is important. But understand that, okay, the purity of mind is more important than anything else. Okay, so if you do not have a doership and you perform any action, your mind is pure. Okay, there's no problem, there's no king. So when somebody says, okay, hey, if you kill, spiritual scripture says it is a sin. But now we have state laws, right? If you kill, police comes and arrest, okay, court law, whatever it is going on. The state laws are there. So you don't need a religion to tell me that I should not kill. Okay, the society takes care of it. But yet the values are specified here. Why? So treating the results of an action with equanimity of mind has nothing to do with the outside world, correct? You perform an action, okay, now in your mind you jump up and down or you get depressed, okay? There is not going to be a mind patrol running around and then say, hey, your mind is now, okay, like this, I'm going to arrest you. Nobody is going to say that, okay? So the treating the results of the result of action with an equanimity of mind is for our own sake, not for the world. When you do this, the world also benefits. So Bhagavad Gita says, why not have this perception in actions and do that so that you can have self-realization as well as the world benefits. That is better. Okay? Rather than, okay, saying, I am going to help this person, I am going to help this person and get agitated in your mind and do everything wrong. Okay? So when Arjuna threw his bow and arrows, the first thing Bhagavan did was scold him. Okay? Kutasva kashmalamidam shame samupashtitam anare jishtam aiswarigyam akirtikaram Arjuna, he says. That is, he says, Arjuna, where have these impurities of yours appeared at this moment of crisis? They are un-Aryan-like, heaven excluding and disgraceful, he says. This is the actual outer meaning of this verse. But when something Bhagavan does or says, there is always some value there. Okay? Whether he says with words or he scolds or teaches, there's a value. So what is the real meaning here? Okay, real meaning here is Kashmalam literally means impurities. Okay, there are three types of impurities in our mind. What is the worst impurity in our mind? Ignorance of our own self, not knowing who we really are. That is the worst impurity. Okay, that is ignorance. Second is agitations in the mind. Why does the agitation comes? I already explained to you. Word is nothing but dualities. Duality means choices. Choices means, okay, you are worried which one, this way to go, that way to go. Mind is getting agitated. Okay, should I buy the red saree or the blue saree? Oh, color is the different, rest are all same. Okay, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, mind is, okay, thinking about it, right? So that is what the agitation caused by the choices. Third is confusion. Okay, sorry. The dualities causes confusion. Agitation is basically due to the emotions, anger, desire, and all those things. Okay, mind agitation is coming. Okay, these are the three impurities. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you have these three impurities. Okay, un-Aryan like. That means what? Aryan represents action. Okay, they are good in actions. So your actions are not good. That means you do not know what is right action and what is not right action. So if you surrender to me, I will teach you Karma Yoga. What is action and what is not action? Karma Yoga is about action. So you are unoriented like now. You surrender to me, I will teach you Karma Yoga. Asargaryam, that is you heaven excluding. Okay, your action is heaven excluding. Heaven is a religious concept. Okay, people do these things and all those things. Bhagavan says, you must know what is bhakti. Okay, whether you should go to heaven or something else. So if you surrender to me, I will teach you Bhakti Yoga. Okay, the third one is Akirtikaram, disgraceful action. Why do we have disgraceful actions? Because we don't know what we are doing. Knowledge is not there. Okay, so if you surrender to me, I will give you the Jnana Yoga. So Arjuna, if you surrender to me, I will teach you Karma Yoga, I will teach you Bhakti Yoga, I will teach you Jnana Yoga. But right now, your mind is full of impurities. So get up and fight. It doesn't say it directly, but it's the implied meaning there. Okay, he says. So now these impurities are covering the mind, and a beautiful example is given to show the difficulty in removing these impurities. Okay, 3 examples are given. Dhumena vriyata vaknihi yato dasho malena cham yato dena vrato garbhasta tena dema vratam. Just see, the fire is covering, a fire is covered by smoke. That's one example. Okay, a glass is covered by dust. Second example. Third example is the child is in the uterus. Uterus is covering, okay, the child. These 3 examples are given. That is, only when you remove these outer coverings, your inner self shines. So the difficulty in outer covering depends on how sattvic or rajasic or tamasic in your mind. For some people, it is like the smoke covering the fire. Okay, you just blow it, it will go away, the fire is visible. As simple as that. For some people, it is like the dust covering the glass, okay, mirror. So you clean it. Then it is clean. Okay, next day you come, there's a dust there. You clean it again. Okay, so you have to regularly keep cleaning it. Now the third one, you don't even see the child, but it is growing there. It takes its own time, 10 months. Okay, so that much difficulty is there, depending on your mind, how sattvic you are or not. Okay, so now how to avoid this sin? Okay, you treat the duality same, engage in the challenges of life, you have no sin at all. I already explained to you. Okay, so now that's what Swami Chidananda, okay, Guruji says, man is never punished for his sin, but by his sin. Okay, you don't think that, okay, you have a sin, you go to an araha and get punished. Of course, our thing is karma, it will come back as karma and get punished there. Okay, but okay, if you understand this, you don't have any sin at all. The final topic is values. Okay, all scriptures ordain we follow certain values. Okay, positive values, you should follow this, ahimsa is there, truth is there, satyam vada and all those things. Generally all religions are doing that. Okay, now what is the, okay, in chapter 13 he gives 12 values, 12 qualities. In chapter 16 he gives another 26 examples of values. 46 values he gives. I'll just give you some examples of that. Humility, unpretentiousness, ahimsa, forgiveness, perception of evil in birth, death, old age, sickness and pain. That is the quality you should have, he says. You should have this perception. Then only this knowledge penetrates you. Otherwise it does not. Okay. Even-mindedness on attainment of desirable and undesirable. What is that? Karma Yoga. Okay. Unswearing devotion unto me by the yoga of non-separation. Okay. That means Advaita. Beyond duality. There's no separation. Okay. He said. So this way, the constancy in self-knowledge, these are all values you should have to realize your own self. Okay. These are positive values. Similarly, fearlessness, purity of heart, steadfastness in the yoga of knowledge, giving charity, control of the senses, okay? Gentleness, modesty, absence of fickleness, brilliance, forgiveness, like that, totally 46 values are given. But the point is, what is the purpose of these values? I have already explained, okay? The purpose of values, it has two purposes. One is external world looking, another is internal world looking. The external world looking is kind of to have a society which is peaceful, okay, and things like that. But internally, these values reduce your agitations of the mind. Anger increases, jealousy increases, constantly thinking about it. You don't want that. When you sit for meditation, if all these things comes to you, you cannot meditate. So, practice good values so that your mind is calm all the time. Mind is peaceful all the time. Then it becomes easy for meditation and self-realization. So, you should be unselfish for only one thing. So, being unselfish to the world is to be selfish to recognize yourself. You be, okay?
Yes.
Forget about everything, okay? You be selfish in realizing your own self. For that, forget everything else, okay? So that is the purpose of the values, okay? Of course, the negative values is, you know, the opposite of that. You can take it. I don't want to spend time on that. So now, I'm going to come to the conclusion. So in conclusion, the topics we have covered, what are the topics? Who am I and who am I not? What is God? Where is God? How to see God? What is the connection between God and I? How to express bhakti? The internal duality versus the external duality and their interaction. Swabhava, Swadharma as your inner self as well as duties. Three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, how they have permeated everything, and you have to be aware of that. What is yoga and who is yogi? We saw that. Samatvam and its significance for the spiritual growth as well as for the world peace. What is sin and how you can avoid sin in any action. And how the values helps for that and have for the Loka Sangraha. This is all what is Bhagavad Gita is, but there is a difficulty in understanding Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because Bhagavad Gita is not a text like Bhagavatam or Purana. It is not stories. It is philosophy. It is logic driven. Okay? You have to sit and contemplate on what is said and connect through the logic. Okay? That takes time, effort, and it is not in the normal thing of people. That is why it becomes very difficult to understand and time consuming. Okay? And also, another reason is that the way it is explained, it's more like a puzzle piece. That nothing is said directly. Okay? A person of steady wisdom wakes in what is night to all beings. When all beings are awake, it is night for the sage who sees. Okay, what does this mean? Okay? Karmanya akarmanya pashyat, akarmani cha karmayaha. Action in inaction and inaction in action. Oh my God, what is that? Okay? I pervade everywhere. All beings are in me. I am not in them. And in the next verse, all beings are not in me. What does this mean? Okay? After saying there is a celestial cow Kamadhenu which will give whatever you desire, he says don't have any desire. Okay? So this is why it becomes difficult to understand. And there are some 10 opposing ideas about our inner nature consciousness. Okay? To explain. It is neither a being nor non-being. Okay? Okay? It is unattached yet supporting all. Okay? It shines through all senses, but it has no senses. Okay? It is moving and also not moving. It is near and far away. Like that, 10 different opposing values are given. So you have to understand it's difficult, okay, without some guidance. Okay? So I'll give you an example. It's all the perception in which you are looking at. Bhagavan is talking everything as pure consciousness. Okay? When you put yourself in that position, many verses become easy to understand. For example, you go to office every day and come back in the evening to your house. I ask you, are you returning to the same place? What is your answer?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Geographically, yes. Demographically, yes. But How do you place those?
But you are not coming back to your own house?
I know that is fine. That's the only geographic location I'm saying.
Then
Thoughts.
what thought?
The mind is not there.
No, not like that. Okay, this is correct. Okay, so when you are here, okay, you know this is the house, you think that you are coming back to the same house. But now, just stay outside the earth, go to the moon and look at it. You are going to say in the 12 hours,
So there is
you,
answer there.
okay, you have moved 60,000 miles or whatever, it's 600,000 miles. So physically you are not in the same place. Okay, the perception of the person who is in that house is different from the perception of the person who is outside the earth. Now you go and stand outside our planetary system. The earth moves so much in that half a day. So moving at what, 6,000 miles kind of thing, it moves in half a day or something. So the perception depends on from where you are looking at it.
Plane of reference.
So
Plane of
Einstein.
reference.
There is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bhagavan says, change your perception, all sorrows are gone. Okay? As long as you identify yourself with your body and mind, you will see that you have suffering, you have sorrows, you have happiness, blah, blah, blah. But when you are looking at everything from your consciousness point of view, you see that that suffering is for Prakriti interacting with Prakriti. I am not going to get involved in that. Okay? Let him say whatever he wants to say about me. I don't care about it. Okay? His Prakriti is saying that this Prakriti is bad. Why do I care about it? Let him say this lecture is useless. Why do I care about it? Okay? So he says it's a perception from where you are looking at. Okay? Change your perspective to get rid of all sorrows. So make a transformation within yourself. The world will transform for you. Okay? Then you will not say, okay, why Bhagavan is giving me sorrows and all those things. No, you don't have. Okay? You understand what it is. Okay? So Bhagavad Gita approach is take one stone, hit and get two mangoes. What are the two mangoes? One is self-realization, other is the Loka Sangraha. When you have this perception and approach anything, then there is no question of, okay, whether this party is better or that party is better, whether LGBTQ is better or okay, Black Lives Matter. That conflict will not come. That conflict will not come. Why? Because you are treating the results of the actions, okay, with the equanimity of mind, where you are not taking sides. Okay, there is no conflict there. Okay, so all problems of the world can end if you understand Bhagavad Gita and live by that. Okay, that's what it says. Okay, that is the basic bottom line of this. Okay, live a life of moderation in all aspects of life, whether it is food, entertainment, political views, exercises, what you name it. Bhagavad Gita says have moderation. Don't go to the extremes. Don't look for conditional happiness. Seek the perennial happiness within you. Okay? Whether you like it or not, spirituality cannot be separated from the secular world. Okay? Because in our core we are spiritual Atma. So don't. So now final. Coming back to the three pairs of people, 6 people. Remember I said who gave Bhagavad Gita? I asked a question. Anybody remember? Which version is most applicable to us? I asked. See, Ganesha is God. Vyasa is dictating, Ganesha is writing. Where? In a cave somewhere up in the mountains where so natural air condition is there and all those things. Okay? That is above Sattva. Okay? Both is talking to God and Sattva. Now, Bhagavan is also God in the battlefield. He is teaching to Arjuna. Both are in the middle of the battlefield where action belongs. Okay? But due to the tamas Arjuna has, Bhagavan has to interact. So here, Sattva is interacting with the tamas and trying to push it to Rajas in the battlefield. The third one, Sanjaya is giving to Dhritarashtra. Both are in the palace, comfort of the palace. This is Rajas interacting with the tamas. So which is better? Which one is applicable for us? One in the middle. One in the middle. That is why they in the background, in the middle middle of the battlefield is very popular, and you are having all these things with Krishna turning and telling Arjuna and all those things. That is why it's popular, because that version is what is more important to us. Not sitting in a cave, isolated cave, both are in sattva mode, and okay, no problem for them. Okay, this guy is tamas, rajas interacting tamas. Okay, the Dhritarashtra, okay, doesn't care. Even after telling all these things, okay, nothing happens to him, right? So the version which is important to us is what is the battlefield. And even though, okay, Dhritarashtra had only one verse, the very first verse, Dharma Kshetre, Guru Kshetre, Samaveda Yutsavaha, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, Kimakurda Kavita. Okay, we all think, okay, that Dhritarashtra is a blind gate, stupid guy, he doesn't know what it is talking about this. But spiritual meaning is buried in that. Dharma Kshetre, a place where Dharma is there. Kurukshetre is a physical place. Dharma, can you show Dharma as an object? You cannot. It's a concept in the mind. It's a spiritual concept in the mind. Okay? So Dharma Kshetre means the spiritual world. Kurukshetre means the physical world. Samaveta, okay, just taking a little liberty in the interpretation of the words. Okay, when you see both of them as same, when you see the spiritual world and the material world as same, because what is material world? Prakriti, that is also coming from Purushottama. Okay, Purusha and Prakriti both are one and the same at the Purushottama level. So when you can see everything in the Prakriti as Purusha, as Dharma, then Yutsavaha, I'm splitting this word as Yuj plus Yutsavaha. Yuj means to unite. Utsava means festival. You will be joined in the festival. What is that festival? Liberation, moksha. So if you can see the entire physical world, what is behind the entire physical world is nothing but Bhagavan, Narayana, Namah Shivaya, whatever your Ishtadeva put it. But actually it's Nirguna Brahman. Okay, that is the level 1. Okay, this is a level 2 and all those things. In chapter 10, he talks about fire there, then it says level 1 is Nirguna Brahman, level 2 is Saguna Brahman, which is the Trinity. It comes in chapter 10. Okay, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva is level 2 in Saguna Brahman. After that, level 3 is avatars, then conscious beings, moving and unmoving. It comes like that in chapter 10. Actually, it's not in that order. You have to interpret it. So, in summary, how to deal with life's challenges is study the self-knowledge, related textbooks, okay, Upanishads like that. Start discriminating between Atma and Anatma, self and Prakriti, body. Have Samatvam attitude. Be moderate in everything. Know your duties and perform them. See the play of the 3 gunas in all. Think of we and us instead of I and mine. Have positive values. Practice life as yoga. Reflect through intellect. Okay, lift yourself by yourself. It says in chapter 6, Uddaret Atmanatmanam Atmanam Avasadhet. Lift yourself by yourself. Why? Because your mind can be a friend or as an enemy. So you make your mind as your friend, not as an enemy. Okay, in chapter 6. Okay, so do that. Then you see the world and interact with the world. Then there is no suffering. That's what Bhagavad Gita is about. So thank Ashok ji very much for giving this opportunity. And let me take questions, but I don't guarantee answers. Okay. So.
No, you said, talked about dualities, okay? Duality, okay? There is the concept of philosophy, for example, Adi Shankara is Advaita guy, okay? Then with Ramanuja, sorry, Vaishnavites, sorry. No, saying what I'm saying. Ramanuja, Sri Ramanuja believed in duality, that means God is separate, I am separate, that is Bhakta is separate, okay? There's no combination, whereas Adi Shankara said, you come to one. There's no difference between you and the Parabrahman. So how do you define that in the case of?
From my understanding,
Yeah.
Ramanuja is not duality. It's a Visishtadvaita.
Visishtadvaita, okay, whatever you call it a different name, but it still separates God and human being.
No, that's what I am coming. That is Madhvacharya's Dvaita. Visishta Dvaita means you are part of God, not separate from God. Okay, Advaita means you are God. Vishishta Dvaita means
Okay.
you are part of God. Dvaita means you are separate.
No, but you're still not God.
You are part of God. The more the bhakti you have, you become the Narayana. The Vaikuntha has 4 levels. Depending on your bhakti, you keep moving. Okay, the bhakti is very strong. You even get the 4 hands, he says. So it is complete bhakti there, bhakti to Narayana. But the deeper, okay, see, self-realization is not good for in the Vaishnava point of view. Okay, they put that down. They say it's very selfish of you to think about only yourself. Okay, if you have self-realization without bhakti, you can go to the gates of the Vaikuntham, but you cannot enter. If you have bhakti there, you can enter. And the bhakti is more and more intense. Okay, for it's like this. Okay, let us say this earth is Vaikuntha. We are not here. Okay, this Lord Narayana is here, and we are in some other place. So, if you have self-realization, you land in earth. And let us say Lord Narayana is in California. You land somewhere in Bali. You are not near Narayana, but you are in that place. Your bhakti increases. Then what happens? From Bali, you come to US. Okay, come closer. When it increases further, you are in California, okay, and you start developing like Narayana. And if it's still more strong, you become one with Narayana. That is extremely difficult. Okay, but the idea is, okay, you are part of Narayana. You are Angam, not full. That is Visishta Dvaita, as my understanding goes. I may be wrong.
No worries.
Okay.
So, Swadharma.
That is okay. See, that is where the Swadharma comes. Okay, Swabhava comes. Ramanuja was born and brought up in Sri Lanka, which is already bhakti oriented. Okay, he went and learned in Kanjipuram Advaita of Adi Shankaras. And then only, okay, he said, okay, no, I don't agree with these things, and then I changed this. And he injected bhakti into that. If you look at Adi Shankara's, okay, interpretation, you don't need that much of bhakti. Okay, it's pure logic.
Yeah, that's what. Okay.
It's pure logic and
Exactly.
logic. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you don't need bhakti or anything like that.
Mhm.
But Ramanuja, you know, his background, Swabhava is there, so that influenced that. That is my understanding. Okay. Thank you all once again for your patience.
Thank you.
I think I need to say this before. Please stay here. Guru Pungava Ketanate Samatamayatam Tahi Gopi Sudhi Charanagadavatala Tatvanide Bhavashankara Desikame Charanam Bhavashankara Desikame Charanam Bhavashankara Desikame Charanam. So, I invite Gus. I want them to say something about Adi Shankara, some sloka of Adi Shankara. And since that didn't happen, of course, so I had to finish with this. Today's talk was very illuminating. As I said, it's very difficult to put the entire material in Bhagavad Gita in one short 2 hours talk. But he did a phenomenal job. What he has given is just a taste of what is in there. And he can take each chapter and go on for hours,
Yes.
go on for days. So he has that much of material, that much of cross study has done. And I really have to thank Raviji for taking up. Once, you know, this the way it happened with me is, I told him once in a casual meeting, you know, every time I take Bhagavad Gita, I just don't go beyond 2nd chapter. I mean, even that stuff, because it's such a complicated thing. So I don't know when I'm going to finish it. So he said, I will take that responsibility and walk you through that. So that's how our interaction, and it's continuing. I'm enjoying. I'm very quiet. Today he talked about Swadharma, right? Yeah. So he said mentioned about saltiness. So when the saltiness is not, when salt is not having saltiness, that is not its Swadharma.
Yes.
It's assault on that Swadharma. So I could. ஆமா ரொம்ப அசால்ட்டாக சொல்றது. வெரி வெரி phenomenal talk. இதற்கு வந்து ஒரு பொன்னாடை போட்டாவிட்டால்
ஐயோ
ஆனால் humble.
வணக்கம்.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The crowd is not much, of course, for these types of topics and talks. Crowd is not expected much. In fact, crowd is not decided also. This is good. This is a cozy talk series, and we are going to continue this quest. Quest is what we should all have in our minds for everything.
Yes.
And there are scholars who will quench the thirstiness to clear some other doubts in quest. And after this, I'm going to request some able bodies to help us to put these things back.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. I just asked.
So the way you explain it but makes one feel that it's not you have other parameters it's very good for the mindful so glad.
It's very easy.
Never ended this.
This has to be a